Mungus. I've now seen death from two very different points of view. In 1988, I was hit by an illness without a name, an illness that would imprison me in my bedroom for the next 15 years. Today, it's called myalgic encephalomyelitis, or chronic fatigue syndrome. I lost nearly everything that had made me me. The PR firm I'd founded to sneak into mass behavior, a firm where I'd worked with people like Michael Jackson, Prince, Bob Marley, and Billy Joel. I lost my contacts, my friends, and my purpose in life. All I had left was my science, my writing, and my wife. 10 years later, that wife of 34 years served me with divorce papers. I had told her that all the threads that had tied me to life had been cut. The one thing I had left was my marriage to her, but she divorced me anyway. I could have become furious. I didn't. What I didn't realize was that there was fury nonetheless. And when I didn't express it outwardly, it turned inward and blowtorched me. It tortured me with minute-by-minute excruciating, unendurable emotional pain. Pain that made every second feel like an eternity of punishment. Pain so bad that I wanted simply to go to bed one night and not wake up in the morning. So I looked up fatal doses of the drugs I had in my house in the physician's desk reference to make sure that whatever I put into myself would kill me. And before going to sleep one night, I took 127 Valium, 15 Thorazine, and injected myself with 5 cc's of lidocaine. It almost worked. I spent the next 3 days totally unconscious, laying in my bed like a corpse. And I learned what the phrase laying like a corpse means. In normal sleep, you toss and turn. That restlessness helps keep your blood circulating. But when you lie there like a corpse, you stop moving completely. So my blood pooled and tore its way through my flesh, opening 2 wounds where it trickled out, one hole in my side and one hole in my neck. Then on the 3rd day, I started to wake up, but I was delirious. And in that delirium, I realized 2 things. That I had a foggy sense of items I was hoping some savior would come along and do to save me. But in my delirium, I saw my mind organize those hazy hopes as a solid checklist. And I realized that the only one who would perform the items on that list was me. I would have to be my own savior. And I realized something else, that there was a bonfire in my gut, with far more power than my everyday self had ever realized. And that flame flung a finger in the face of death and said, "Absolutely not. I refuse to die." That's when I was 55 years old. Now it's 26 years later. And in the last 4 months, I've gone through 3 brutal illnesses that have shown me the face of death in a whole new light. A light that comes from being 81 years old. First, in November, I got sick, but I kept trying to work. 7 days into the illness, my assistant found me fully clothed on the floor of my bedroom, babbling incoherently. She called an ambulance. I had COVID and dehydration. It took the hospital staff 3 days to save my life, and 7 more days to give me the faintest flicker of feeble strength. And what did I see in this new state of almost death? I no longer stared at the blazing fire of my soul's absolute determination to live. I had a vision of entering an open grave face down, and it was dark. I confronted the fact that my life force was running out. The hopes and ambitions that had kept me alive were letting go of me. They were letting me drop. Then 2 other illnesses followed, norovirus and a fall that broke my elbow and required surgery. They, too, showed me the darkness of the grave. But you, today, have brought me back to life, as you've done hundreds of times before. And once again, the fire of my will to live, the fire in my gut, is back. This is Howard Bloom, speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make. Or, Want to know why? Ask how. And now for this new sleazy, slimy, if I can find it, little off button. Ah, I think I've got it.